Welcome, curious souls. To Grave Vale echoes your portal to the world's most chilling mysteries and untold stories. Join us as we uncover the strange, the supernatural, and the truly unexplained. Deep beneath the crushing weight of the ocean, a chilling silence holds countless secrets. Ancient texts speak of a civilization obliterated, a city of advanced people consumed by the sea. This is not mere myth. It is a persistent echo from a catastrophic past. The crushing weight of ancient history often conceals truths too terrifying to fully grasp. Amongst these forgotten narratives, one echoes louder than any other, a chilling whisper of a civilization erased, a testament to the raw, untamed power of the world. This is not some fanciful bedtime story. This is the persistent specter of Atlantis, a tale first etched into our consciousness not by a dreamer, but by one of history's most formidable intellects, Plato himself. He was not inventing a myth, but relaying an account of such profound dread that it has haunted humanity for millennia. Plato, in his profound dialogues, particularly the Timaeus and Critias, laid bare a story so vivid, so detailed, that it transcends mere philosophy. He presented it as a historical record, passed down through generations, chronicling a magnificent and terrifying past. The stage for this lost world was set far beyond what the ancient Greeks considered the edge of their known universe, beyond the Pillars of Hercules. Today, we know these as the Strait of Gibraltar, the gateway from the Mediterranean into the vast, churning Atlantic Ocean. This placement was deliberate, creating an immediate sense of immense distance, isolation, and a world utterly distinct from their own. It painted a picture of a civilization that existed not just geographically apart, but almost in another dimension of time and experience. Imagine, if you can, a vast island, larger than Libya and Asia combined, stretching out into the relentless waves. This was Atlantis. These people were not primitive. They were a technologically advanced society, far surpassing anything the classical world could conceive. Their capital city was a marvel of engineering and design, a chilling testament to their ingenuity. It wasn't just a city. It was an intricate labyrinth of concentric rings, alternating between land and water, connected by navigable canals that allowed ships to sail right into the heart of their empire. The outer rings, immense and fortified, protected a dazzling inner sanctum where the royal palace stood, a structure of unparalleled grandeur. Plato described this metropolis with an almost unsettling precision. The buildings were adorned with rare and precious metals. Orichalcum, a metal spoken of with awe, glowed with a faint, internal light, shimmering with a deep, reddish hue. This wasn't gold or silver. This was something beyond common understanding, hinting at an advanced metallurgy or even an energy source we still cannot comprehend. They used it not just for adornment, but for the very fabric of their temples, their public buildings, creating a city that must have shimmered with an otherworldly brilliance under the sun. Great walls, faced with gleaming metals, encircled the city, reflecting sunlight and casting an aura of impregnable strength and wealth. Their infrastructure was equally astounding. They possessed hot and cold springs, channeled and directed to serve not just their homes, but also their intricate bathhouses and public spaces. Massive docks and harbors, bustling with unimaginable vessels, spoke of an empire that commanded the seas, extending its influence across vast distances. The sheer scale of their engineering, the mastery over water and land, suggests a scientific understanding that defies our conventional view of ancient peoples. They were, in essence, a hyper-civilization, a peak of human achievement that remains almost unimaginable. But it wasn't just their technology that defined them. The Atlanteans, as recounted by Plato, were initially a virtuous people. They revered the sea god Poseidon, their patron deity, and upheld a strict code of ethics and justice. They were wise, temperate, and lived in harmony with the vast resources their island provided. Their initial prosperity was built upon these virtues, their power tempered by a sense of fairness and a genuine desire for good. However, with immense power came a chilling decay. Over generations, the purity of their Atlantean bloodline became diluted. Their hearts, once guided by divine principles, slowly succumbed to avarice and lust for even greater dominance. This moral decline is the most haunting aspect of Plato's narrative. It suggests a tragic flaw at the heart of even the most magnificent societies. Their insatiable ambition grew, pushing them to seek conquest, to subjugate neighboring lands, to expand their empire through force rather than diplomacy. They became arrogant, believing themselves untouchable, their power absolute. This shift from virtue to corruption set the stage for their horrifying fate, transforming them from benevolent rulers into a tyrannical force that threatened the very fabric of the ancient world. Their technological prowess, once a tool for progress, became an instrument of their increasingly dark desires. The climax of this chilling saga arrived with terrifying swiftness. Plato's accounts describe a cataclysm of unimaginable proportions, a sudden, violent upheaval that defied all natural order. The earth itself seemed to recoil from the Atlanteans' hubris. Massive earthquakes, tremors of an intensity that ripped the land apart, began to shake the colossal island. The very ground beneath their feet groaned and fractured, splitting open in gaping chasms that swallowed entire sections of their magnificent city. The air would have filled with the screams of a civilization caught in nature's terrifying grip. A sound quickly drowned out by the thunderous roar of the earth tearing itself asunder. But the earth's fury was only the beginning. Hand in hand with the seismic devastation came an equally terrifying assault from the sea. Immense floods, likely tsunamis of unimaginable scale, swept across the land, engulfing everything in their path. Walls that had stood for centuries, monuments to human genius, were pulverized by the relentless onslaught of water. The meticulously crafted canals, once symbols of their mastery, became conduits of destruction, funneling the surging ocean into the very heart of their once proud capital. The most chilling detail, the one that truly brings a shiver to the spine, is the speed of this obliteration. Plato states, with an unsettling finality, that Atlantis sank in a single dreadful day and night. Not a gradual decline over years, not a slow erosion, but an instantaneous erasure. An entire continent, powerful empire, a technologically advanced people all swallowed whole by the ocean in a span of hours. Imagine the terror, the utter helplessness, as an entire world crumbled and vanished, not into slow decay, but into a sudden, horrifying plunge into the abyss. There was no escape, no time to flee, only the crushing inevitability of their watery grave. The waves closed over them, leaving no trace, no survivors, only the vast, silent expanse of the ocean, the once bustling harbors, the gleaming orichalcum, the magnificent palaces all became part of the deep, dark, unfathomable ocean floor. This terrifying narrative, however, did not originate with Plato's brilliant mind. He was merely the conduit for an even older, more chilling revelation. The source of this profound historical record reaches back to Solon, the revered Athenian lawgiver, a man known for his wisdom and integrity. Solon embarked on a journey to Egypt, a land already ancient even in his time, a civilization that meticulously preserved its history and knowledge. It was in the sacred temples of Sais, amidst the timeless wisdom of the Egyptian priesthood, that Solon encountered a revelation that would reshape his understanding of the world. The Egyptian priests, guardians of millennia of recorded history, listened with a solemn, knowing air as Solon spoke of Greek antiquity. Their reaction was not one of shared pride, but a gentle, almost sorrowful correction. They explained to Solon that the Greeks, due to recurring catastrophes, floods, earthquakes, and other natural disasters, repeatedly lost their historical memory, their written records destroyed, their traditions fractured. But Egypt, protected by its unique geography, had preserved its records without interruption for thousands of years. They possessed an unbroken chain of knowledge, a chilling chronicle of events long forgotten by the rest of the world. And then, they unveiled their chilling tale, the story of Atlantis. They recounted it not as a myth or a legend, but as a verifiable historical fact, meticulously documented in their ancient papyri and temple inscriptions. They spoke of Atlantis's immense power, its advanced civilization, its war against ancient Athens, and its final, cataclysmic destruction. This was not anecdotal. It was presented as cold, hard history, preserved and passed down through countless generations of priests, each one a custodian of this terrifying truth. The implication was profound and deeply unsettling. If the Egyptians possessed such accurate, detailed knowledge of a civilization that vanished millennia ago, a civilization that predated the accepted history of the Greeks, then what other terrifying secrets did the sands of time conceal? This was not imagination. This was a forgotten history, an echo from a catastrophic past that refused to be silenced, demanding to be acknowledged. The ancient priests, with their unwavering conviction, transformed a mere legend into a haunting possibility, a specter of a bygone world, lurking just beyond the veil of our collective memory, a constant reminder of the fragility of even the greatest civilizations. This was the genesis of a lost world, recounted with a gravity that still sends shivers through the core of what we believe to be true. The ocean holds its breath, a vast, crushing silence that guards countless ancient horrors. For too long, humanity has looked at the surface, marveling at its beauty, while beneath, a chilling truth lies concealed. We speak of history as if it's a fixed narrative, carved in stone. But the deep, dark waters whisper a different story, a narrative of submerged ruins, impossible structures, and anomalies that defy every accepted truth. These are not mere rock formations. They are the unsettling echoes of a past so profound, so devastating, that its very existence questions everything we believe about our origins. Among these haunting whispers from the deep, one location stands out with a particular, unsettling clarity: the Bimini Road, located off the coast of North Bimini in the Bahamas. This underwater formation appeared abruptly in 1968, sparking a debate that continues to send shivers down the spines of archaeologists and historians alike. Imagine diving into the turquoise waters, the sunlight filtering through, only to encounter what appears to be a perfectly straight, meticulously laid road or wall of massive, rectangular limestone blocks. These stones, some weighing several tons, are not scattered randomly. They are arranged in a remarkably linear fashion, stretching for hundreds of yards, with surprisingly consistent dimensions and surprisingly precise angles. The sight alone is enough to stir a primal unease. How could nature sculpt such deliberate geometry? The blocks appear almost too regular, too organized, to be the result of mere geological processes. Mainstream science, in its persistent attempt to rationalize the unexplainable, argues that the Bimini Road is nothing more than a natural phenomenon, a product of erosion and fracture patterns in the bedrock. They suggest that the shifting sands and currents have simply exposed these naturally occurring, fractured limestone slabs in a way that appears man-made. Yet, the human eye, attuned to patterns and design, struggles to reconcile this explanation with the undeniable order presented by the Bimini Road. The sheer scale, the uniformity, the almost deliberate appearance of a paved pathway, it's a terrifying challenge to the assumption that only human hands can create such structures. The unsettling question persists: if this is a natural formation, why does it look so much like a man-made wall or a paved road? Why do the stones seem to fit together with such intention, as if mortared by some unseen force? The very existence of the Bimini Road forces us to confront a disturbing possibility: that advanced construction, far older than our history books suggest, lies hidden just beneath the surface, waiting to be rediscovered. It hints at a forgotten intelligence, an ancient race with the capability to quarry, shape, and precisely place such colossal stones, perhaps in an age when our ancestors were still dwelling in caves. The sheer ambiguity of its origin, the relentless debate between nature and artifice, is what makes the Bimini Road such a potent and unsettling piece of the puzzle. A silent testament to a world we have lost. It's a physical manifestation of a forgotten era, a lingering question mark etched into the ocean floor, daring us to look closer, to question everything we thought we knew. But the Bimini Road is not an isolated anomaly. Thousands of miles away, in the treacherous currents off the coast of Yonaguni Island, Japan, lies an even more monumental and terrifying secret. Discovered in 1986, the Yonaguni Monument is a colossal underwater rock formation that has baffled experts and ignited fierce debate ever since. This is no mere collection of scattered rocks. It is a sprawling, almost architectural complex, a massive structure carved with such astounding precision that it seems impossible to attribute entirely to natural forces. Imagine descending into the deep blue, the visibility fading as you approach this submerged leviathan. What you encounter is a series of flat, clean-cut terraces, sharp, almost perfectly straight edges, and massive blocks arranged in what appear to be discernible patterns. There are features that resemble giant steps, meticulously carved, leading up to a towering, pyramid-like structure There are even what look like carved figures, faces, and perhaps even signs etched into the ancient stone. The sheer scale is breathtaking. The main structure alone is estimated to be over 50 meters long and 20 meters high. The geological explanation posits that the Yanaguni Monument is the result of natural erosion. A spectacular example of how sandstone can fracture and wear away over millennia to create seemingly artificial shapes. They argue that tectonic activity and powerful ocean currents, combined with the unique composition of the rock, could have sculpted these astonishing features. However, for many, this explanation feels insufficient, almost a desperate attempt to avoid a more terrifying truth. The right angles, the precise 90-degree corners, the flat surfaces, the symmetrical steps, these are features that scream of intelligent design, of careful planning and deliberate execution. It defies the random chaos of nature. If the Yanaguni Monument is, in fact, man-made, or at least significantly modified by human hands, the implications are profound and deeply unsettling. It would mean that a civilization with advanced architectural and engineering capabilities existed in this region thousands of years ago. A civilization capable of working with stone on a monumental scale. This structure would have been submerged during the last ice age, placing its construction firmly in an era long before any known human civilization was thought to possess such skills. It forces us to confront the terrifying possibility that our history books are not just incomplete, but fundamentally flawed, missing entire epochs of advanced human endeavor. The monument, standing silently in its watery grave, whispers of a forgotten people, a lost technology, and a cataclysm that swept their world away, leaving only these haunting, impossible remnants. It's a stark, cold reminder that the ocean holds secrets capable of shattering our understanding of our own past. And these two colossal mysteries, Bimini and Yanaguni, are just the tip of a terrifying iceberg. All across the globe, the ocean floor is yielding tantalizing, unexplained discoveries, each one a whisper from a submerged world, each one challenging the comfort of our accepted history. Reports of sunken cities, massive, impossibly straight walls, and precise alignments found at extreme depths continue to surface, hinting at a global network of lost knowledge. Off the coast of Cuba, for instance, a team exploring the deep sea reported sonar images revealing what appeared to be an enormous city, complete with streets, buildings, and even what looked like a pyramid, lying thousands of feet beneath the waves. While direct visual confirmation and extensive exploration remain challenging due to the immense depth, the initial sonar data was compellingly unsettling. Similarly, off the coast of India, near the Gulf of Cambay, sonar scans revealed what some interpret as geometric structures, possibly representing an ancient, submerged city dating back many thousands of years. These findings, though still under debate and requiring further investigation, add to the growing body of evidence suggesting that advanced human habitation existed in regions now swallowed by the sea. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a chilling pattern, a mosaic of forgotten worlds slowly being unveiled by modern technology, confirming the ancient tales of cataclysmic floods and lost civilizations. The sheer difficulty of exploring these deep-sea anomalies only amplifies their haunting nature. The immense pressure, the perpetual darkness, the freezing temperatures, and the colossal cost of deep-sea expeditions mean that most of these sites remain largely uninvestigated. Their secrets still firmly locked away. The ocean itself becomes the ultimate guardian of these terrifying truths. A vast, silent archive of forgotten worlds. It's a cruel irony that the very element that swallowed these civilizations now protects their secrets from our prying eyes, allowing only glimpses, tantalizing fragments that fuel our unease. These unexplained structures and anomalies beneath the waves serve as a constant, unsettling reminder. Our understanding of history is, at best, incomplete, and at worst, fundamentally wrong. They speak of a past far more complex, far more advanced, and far more vulnerable to catastrophic natural events than we are often willing to admit. The sheer number and geographical spread of these submerged ruins create a profound and disturbing question. Were these isolated incidents of advanced societies being swallowed by the sea? Or were they all part of a larger, interconnected global civilization that met a horrifying, collective demise? The silence from the deep offers no easy answers. Only the persistent, chilling whisper of worlds erased, waiting to be fully acknowledged. The ocean depths conceal a silent, enduring terror. The chilling truth about Atlantis isn't just its existence, or its terrifying end, but the haunting echo of its inexplicable capabilities. It whispers of a past where humanity wielded power and knowledge far beyond anything our modern minds can comfortably grasp. This wasn't just a city. It was a technological marvel, an almost alien civilization, whose secrets, if they were ever rediscovered, could shatter our understanding of history and even the very fabric of science. We are left with fragments, unsettling clues, suggesting a level of mastery that defies the conventional timeline of human advancement, creating a profound sense of unease about what we have forgotten. At the heart of Atlantis's almost mythical technological prowess lies the enigma of orichalcum. Plato, in his precise and unsettling descriptions, speaks of this metal not as a mere decorative element, but as something fundamental to the Atlantean Empire. He describes it as a metal that flashed with a ruddy light, a substance more precious than gold itself, used to adorn their sacred temples, their public buildings, and even the very palace of their kings. This wasn't just luxury. It was a statement of their unique mastery, an undeniable sign of a lost material science that still eludes us today. What exactly was orichalcum? The question hangs heavy in the air, a silent challenge to our knowledge. Modern interpretations often attempt to reduce it to a known alloy, perhaps brass or a specific type of copper. Yet, Plato's description of it, flashing with a ruddy light, introduces an element that transcends simple metallurgy. Could it have been an alloy capable of phosphorescence, absorbing light and re-emitting it, creating an ethereal glow? Or perhaps it was something far more exotic, a metal possessing innate luminescent properties, a self-illuminating material that lit their city with an otherworldly gleam. This glowing aspect pushes the boundaries of conventional understanding, hinting at a metal that might have possessed some form of internal energy, or even reacted with ambient electromagnetic fields in a way we cannot replicate. Consider the implications of such a material. If orichalcum truly glowed, it wasn't just a shiny decoration. It could have been a practical source of light in their architecture, perhaps even a key component in their energy systems. Imagine a city where the very buildings, adorned with this strange metal, pulsed with a soft, reddish light, creating an atmosphere of perpetual twilight or an eternal dawn. This isn't just advanced. It's almost fantastical. Yet Plato presented it as a tangible fact. The ability to create or discover such a metal suggests an understanding of chemistry, physics, and geology that would put many modern scientists to shame. They must have possessed metallurgical techniques capable of purifying, refining, and alloying elements in ways we are only just beginning to explore with nanotechnology. The loss of orichalcum is not merely the loss of a valuable material. It is the loss of a profound scientific secret, a testament to a forgotten age of genius. The very idea that a metal could be more precious than gold, due to its intrinsic properties, rather than its scarcity alone, underscores its unique value. This value might have stemmed from its practical applications, not just its beauty. If it was indeed a source of light or energy, its utility would far outweigh the aesthetic appeal of gold. Its existence, even as a concept, forces us to question the limits of ancient technology. It paints a picture of a civilization that didn't just stumble upon discoveries, but systematically pursued and mastered them, manipulating the very elements of the earth to serve their grand designs. The mystery of orichalcum continues to haunt us, a silent reminder of a chemical and energetic knowledge that vanished with Atlantis, leaving only unsettling questions in its wake. Beyond the enigma of orichalcum, the detailed accounts of Atlantean construction and engineering capability leave a profound, unsettling impression. Plato's description of their capital city, a sprawling metropolis built on concentric rings of land and water, connected by navigable canals, is a testament to an architectural and engineering prowess that remains mind-boggling. This wasn't just a haphazard collection of buildings. It was a meticulously planned and executed megaproject, a triumph of design over raw landscape. Imagine the sheer scale of the undertaking: to carve vast, circular canals into an island, to create perfectly formed land rings, to manage the immense volumes of water required to make these canals navigable for large ships. This demands a level of hydraulic engineering and earth-moving capability that far exceeds anything attributed to the ancient world. Our history books speak of rudimentary tools, of immense manual labor, of simple levers and rollers. Yet, the Atlantean capital sounds like a modern metropolis, planned with foresight and executed with precision. How did they dredge these massive waterways? How did they fortify the banks against erosion? How did they ensure a consistent water level, perhaps even against the tides of the open ocean? These questions hint at a forgotten knowledge of civil engineering, potentially involving advanced surveying techniques, sophisticated construction machinery, or even energy sources used to manipulate the very terrain. The harbors themselves were described as immense, capable of accommodating a vast fleet of warships and merchant vessels. This implies not just large docks, but intricate logistical systems, shipbuilding technology far beyond simple wooden planks, and a deep understanding of maritime architecture. Such harbors would require massive breakwaters, intricate dredging, and robust construction materials to withstand the relentless assault of the sea. It suggests an empire that commanded the waves, not just in military might, but in their ability to shape the very coastline to their will. This level of environmental control and monumental construction speaks of a society that had transcended the basic challenges of survival and had mastered the art of shaping their world on a breathtaking scale. Consider the architecture itself. Plato mentioned structures adorned with orichalcum, with polished stone, with precious metals. This wasn't just about functionality. It was about grandeur, about artistic expression on a colossal scale, the construction of massive temples and palaces, strong enough to incorporate exotic metals and withstand the ravages of time, points to a deep understanding of structural integrity and material science. How did they quarry the enormous stones for their foundations and walls? How were these colossal blocks transported, often across water, and then lifted into place with such precision? Were there unknown lifting devices, perhaps powered by the very energy sources we speculate about? The conventional methods of ancient construction, involving thousands of slaves and rudimentary tools, simply do not seem adequate to explain the descriptions of Atlantean feats. The terrifying implication here is that our understanding of ancient construction capabilities is fundamentally limited. If Atlantis truly existed as Plato described, it means there was a civilization capable of building on a scale and with a precision that rivals, and in some aspects surpasses, our own. It forces us to reconsider what primitive truly means, and how much knowledge might have been lost to the crushing forces of nature and time. The advanced construction and engineering capabilities of Atlantis are not just historical curiosities. They are a haunting challenge to our historical narrative, a silent testament to a world that built wonders beyond our current comprehension, only to see them swallowed by the deep. This brings us to the most chilling and speculative aspect of Atlantean technology: their unexplained power and energy sources. How did a civilization achieve such monumental construction, produce glowing metals, and maintain a sprawling, advanced society without a clear, recognizable source of power? Our modern world runs on fossil fuels, nuclear energy, and renewable resources. What fueled Atlantis? The answer, shrouded in mystery and whispered through esoteric theories, often points to something far more exotic, something that borders on the supernatural, a technology so advanced it would appear magical to us. One of the most persistent theories revolves around the concept of crystal power. While mainstream science views crystals primarily for their aesthetic or piezoelectric properties, some alternative theories suggest that ancient civilizations, particularly Atlantis, might have harnessed their energetic potential on a massive scale, not as mere curios, but as powerful conduits, amplifiers, or even generators of immense energy. Imagine colossal crystals, perhaps orichalcum infused, strategically placed throughout the city, or even deep within the earth, tapping into unseen energy fields. These fire crystals, as some legends describe them, could have been the powerhouses of Atlantis, providing clean, abundant energy for everything from lighting and heating to industrial processes and possibly even levitation. How could crystals generate such power? Perhaps through an advanced understanding of the Earth's natural electromagnetic grid, or by tapping into zero-point energy, the theoretical energy that exists in empty space. The idea is that these crystals wouldn't just be passive. They would be active components in a vast energy network, capable of drawing, storing, and distributing immense power. This would explain not only their advanced technology but also the glowing property of orichalcum if it was part of this crystalline energy matrix. The thought of such a limitless, clean energy source is both awe-inspiring and deeply unsettling, hinting at a lost golden age of technology that we are still striving to achieve. Beyond crystals, Other forgotten technologies are whispered about. Could the Atlanteans have mastered atmospheric electricity, drawing power directly from the air, much like Nikola Tesla theorized? Or perhaps they understood anti-gravity principles, using some form of resonant frequency or electromagnetic manipulation to lift the colossal stones for their construction without physical effort. The very notion of sonic levitation using focused sound waves to defy gravity has been explored in modern physics. But could the Atlanteans have perfected it thousands of years ago? These concepts, often dismissed as science fiction, take on a chilling realism when confronted with the scale and precision of Plato's descriptions. The implications of such power sources are profound. Unlimited energy would mean boundless prosperity, advanced manufacturing, and the ability to manipulate their environment on a grand scale. It would allow for technologies we can only dream of: instantaneous communication, weather control, and perhaps even the ability to terraform their island. But with such immense power comes immense risk. What if their energy systems became unstable? What if the very forces they harnessed turned against them? The catastrophic end of Atlantis, described as a single day and night of earthquakes and floods, suggests an event of unparalleled violence. Could their own advanced power source have played a role in their downfall, perhaps triggering a geological chain reaction or an uncontrolled energy release that contributed to the cataclysm? This adds a layer of terrifying irony to their story. The very power that elevated them could have ultimately destroyed them. The unsettling truth of Atlantis's unexplained power and energy sources is that they represent a level of scientific achievement that we have yet to reach, or perhaps have tragically forgotten. It's a haunting thought that humanity once possessed the keys to clean, abundant energy, to anti-gravity, to a profound mastery over the physical world, only to lose it all in a cataclysmic moment. This lost technology isn't just a historical curiosity. It's a terrifying reminder of our fragility, of how easily advanced knowledge can be erased, plunging us back into an age of ignorance. The silence from the deep holds not just the ruins of a city, but the terrifying blueprints of a power that could reshape our world. For better or for worse, a power that now lies hidden, waiting to be rediscovered. A chilling testament to a forgotten age of genius and unimaginable power. The crushing silence of the deep ocean holds a truth more terrifying than any myth. For millennia, the story of Atlantis has echoed through time, a chilling whisper of a civilization obliterated, a sudden and horrifying erasure from the face of the earth. This wasn't a slow decay, a gradual decline into ruin, but a cataclysm of unimaginable scale, a brutal, instantaneous judgment from the very forces that shaped our world. The lingering fear isn't just that Atlantis existed. It's that its fate was a raw expression of nature's darkest fury, a force that could awaken again, without warning, leaving our own modern world equally vulnerable to its silent, enduring terror. To comprehend the horror of Atlantis's end, one must first look to the raw, untamed power of the earth itself. Geologic theories paint a terrifying picture of the forces that could have consumed an entire continent in a single day and night. The most immediate and visceral explanation lies in massive seismic activity. We speak of earthquakes as if they are isolated events, localized tremors that shake the ground for a few fleeting moments, a brief disruption before life returns to normal. But imagine an earthquake of an intensity that beggars belief, a planet-shattering convulsion on a scale that could reshape continents. tear them asunder. This would not be a tremor. It would be the very bones of the planet tearing themselves apart. A guttural roar from the abyssal depths. A violent rejection of the world above. Beneath the seemingly solid ground of Atlantis, there could have been a colossal, ancient fault line, a weakness in the Earth's crust, a ticking time bomb waiting for the precise moment to detonate. Perhaps it was a vast subduction zone, where one tectonic plate inexorably slides beneath another, building up unfathomable stress over eons, until the pressure became too great to bear. When that immense strain finally ruptured, the resulting quake would have been a seismic event without modern parallel. The ground would not just have shaken violently, it would have liquefied, buckled, and fractured, opening gaping chasms that swallowed entire sections of the land. This would be a ground that betrayed itself, turning from firm foundation to churning liquid, unable to support the weight of anything upon it. Mountains would have crumbled. Colossal buildings would have swayed and then imploded, their advanced architecture proving utterly futile against such overwhelming force. The very bedrock, the supposed anchor of their civilization, would have turned against them, becoming an agent of their destruction. The sound alone would have been an instrument of terror, a deafening symphony of cracking earth. The thunderous roar of collapsing stone, the sickening groan of steel and orichalcum twisting into impossible shapes, and the desperate, futile cries of millions, a sound quickly swallowed and overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the devastation. This kind of tectonic violence could split an island apart, causing massive sections to founder and disappear into the boiling, churning mantle below, a horrifying descent into the planet's molten heart. It is a horror beyond human comprehension, an entire world caught in the grip of the planet's death throes, a silent scream of existence abruptly silenced. Yet, seismic activity rarely acts alone in such catastrophic events. Hand in hand with these earth-shattering quakes would come the second, equally terrifying weapon in nature's arsenal, devastating tsunamis. An earthquake of immense magnitude, particularly one that occurs beneath the ocean floor, can displace an unimaginable volume of water, generating waves that are not just tall, but vast, and relentlessly powerful. These wouldn't be the picturesque, breaking waves of a beach. These would be colossal walls of water, racing across the ocean at hundreds of miles per hour, appearing on the horizon not as a gentle swell, but as an impossibly tall, dark line, growing wider and more terrifying with every passing second. A liquid mountain bearing down on unsuspecting shores. As these monstrous waves slammed into the shores of Atlantis, they would not merely wash over. They would obliterate. Imagine a wave hundreds, perhaps even 1,000 feet high, carrying the kinetic force of 1,000 freight trains, crashing into the advanced cities, the intricate canals, the fortified harbors, buildings, no matter how grand or technologically advanced, would be torn from their foundations, pulverized into debris. Ships, even the most formidable warships of the Atlantean fleet, would be tossed inland like children's toys, or simply engulfed and dragged under by the chaotic, crushing deluge. Entire populations would be swept out to sea in a chaotic, drowning torrent, their screams lost in the roar of the water. And it wouldn't be just one wave. The initial seismic event would likely trigger a series of these oceanic behemoths, each one following the last, relentlessly pounding the already fractured land, eroding what little remained, dragging debris and bodies into the abyss. The sophisticated irrigation systems, the protective seawalls, the grand infrastructure, all would be rendered useless, overwhelmed by the sheer, unbridled power of the ocean, turning their greatest achievements into the very instruments of their destruction. The element they sought to master, the vastness they aimed to conquer, became their executioner, an agent of pure, unadulterated annihilation. But the catalogue of potential geological horrors does not end there. Many theories, particularly those linking Atlantis to the catastrophic eruption of Thera, Santorini, in the Mediterranean, point to the terrifying possibility of sudden volcanic eruptions on an even grander, more destructive scale. If Atlantis was situated on or near a massive volcanic complex, a supervolcano simmering beneath the surface, its end could have been even more spectacular and terrifying. Imagine a volcano, dormant for centuries, perhaps millennia, giving no hint of the inferno within, suddenly awakening with a fury that blots out the sun. The sky would darken with choking ash, turning day into a perpetual, suffocating twilight, a final, horrifying night. Pyroclastic flows, superheated currents of gas and volcanic debris, traveling at hundreds of miles per hour, would race down the slopes, incinerating everything in their path, leaving no chance for escape, no time to even scream. These flows are a literal wall of instant death, hotter than any fire, faster than any human. The most horrifying aspect of such a volcanic event, however, is the potential for a caldera collapse. When a massive volcanic chamber empties during an eruption, the land above it loses its support and can collapse inwards, plunging an entire island or landmass into the sea. This would not be a slow subsidence. It would be an instantaneous implosion, a colossal vortex, sucking everything down into the fiery maw of the earth, instantly vaporizing whatever it touched, leaving only a vast, empty basin where a thriving land once stood. The sudden displacement of water from such an immense collapse would generate its own set of megatsunamis, compounding the horror. The combination of fiery destruction from above and watery oblivion from below would create an inferno of unimaginable proportions. A true apocalypse that would leave no trace, save for the memory of unimaginable terror etched into the very core of the planet. It is entirely plausible, and perhaps even more terrifying, that Atlantis was not brought down by a single geological event, but by a horrifying cascade of them. A massive, tectonic earthquake could trigger a colossal volcanic eruption, which in turn could lead to a caldera collapse and generate colossal tsunamis. This multi-pronged assault, an orchestrated symphony of destruction from every element, earth, fire, and water, would explain the utter totality of Atlantis's demise. The very ground beneath them would betray them, fracturing and consuming. The air would become poison, choked with ash and gas. And the sea, once their highway and their protector, would rise up as their executioner, merciless and absolute. This complete and utter betrayal by the natural world, a world they had perhaps come to believe they controlled with their advanced technology and grand designs, adds a layer of cosmic dread to their story. It is a chilling reminder that even the most advanced civilizations are ultimately at the mercy of the raw, unpredictable power of the planet itself, a force that cares nothing for human ambition or achievement. This terrifying geological reality brings us to the most chilling aspect of Plato's account, the devastating speed of destruction. He stated, with an almost unnerving precision, that Atlantis sank in a single dreadful day and night. This is not an exaggeration for dramatic effect. It is a profound detail that distinguishes Atlantis from every other historical catastrophe. Empires fall over decades, sometimes centuries, their decline slow and painful, allowing for adaptation, for escape, for the preservation of some remnant of their culture. Cities are besieged, plundered, and slowly decay, leaving ruins for future generations to explore. But Atlantis vanished in a heartbeat, a catastrophic blink of an eye, an instantaneous erasure from the living world. Imagine the absolute, unadulterated terror of living through that dreadful day and night. There was no time to prepare, no time to flee, no time for final goodbyes. The morning might have dawned like any other, their advanced society bustling with activity, their grand capital shimmering with orichalcum, their people going about their lives, perhaps blissfully unaware of the cosmic sentence being passed upon them. Then, the first tremor, a warning quickly followed by a cataclysm that spiraled out of control with terrifying speed. The ground would begin to buckle, the canals would overflow, buildings would crack and crumble. The initial panic would swiftly turn into abject horror as the terrifying realization dawned. Their entire world was ending, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing, they could do to stop it. The advanced technology, the powerful military, the sophisticated infrastructure all rendered utterly useless in the face of such overwhelming natural forces. Their orichalcum, once a source of light and power, would be swallowed by the dark. Their massive harbors, once symbols of their dominion over the seas, would become monstrous whirlpools dragging everything into the abyss. The thought of an entire civilization, millions of souls, experiencing such a swift and total obliteration is profoundly unsettling. It's a mass extinction event, not of a species, but of an entire culture, wiped clean from the slate of existence in a span of hours. This is not just loss. It is cosmic annihilation, a complete unmaking. The sheer totality of this destruction ensured that no tangible trace remained on the surface. No refugees escaping in desperate ships. No survivors washed ashore to tell their tale. No written records salvaged from the ruins. No artifacts left behind to hint at their advanced society. The ocean, in its horrifying efficiency, swallowed everything whole, leaving no witness, no evidence of the vibrant world that once existed. This absolute erasure contributes to the lingering fear if an entire, highly advanced civilization can vanish so completely, so instantaneously. Then what assurance do we have that the same fate doesn't await us? It's a stark, cold reminder of our own fragility, a silent promise that nature's wrath knows no bounds and offers no mercy, a terrifying precedent for any civilization that dares to reach too high, or perhaps simply exists in the wrong place at the wrong time. The echoes of those final, desperate moments, the screams and the roars, linger in the collective unconscious, a haunting memory of a world that was, and then suddenly, was not. This brings us to the ultimate cover-up, the perfect guardian of Atlantis's deepest, most terrifying secrets, the ocean's vastness itself. After the single dreadful day and night, The waves closed over the sunken continent, leaving only the unbroken, deceptively serene surface of the Atlantic. What lies beneath that surface, thousands of feet down, is a realm of unimaginable pressure, perpetual darkness, and freezing temperatures, an environment utterly hostile to human exploration and perfectly suited for safeguarding the most profound mysteries. It is a natural vault, an impenetrable fortress for forgotten worlds. Imagine the immense weight of the water, pressing down with a force that would crush any conventional vessel, any unfortified structure, into an unrecognizable mass. This pressure acts as a formidable barrier, a natural lock on the secrets below, allowing only the most advanced and specialized craft to even begin to explore its depths. The sun's light, which barely penetrates the first few hundred feet of the ocean, gives way to an eternal, inky blackness, a void where nothing can be seen without artificial illumination. And in this crushing, dark, frigid realm, the ruins of Atlantis, if they exist, would be slowly but inexorably swallowed by time and sediment. Over millennia, layers of silt, sand, and organic matter, the continuous marine snow, falling from above, would settle, gradually burying whatever remained of the lost city. Imagine colossal structures, once gleaming with orichalcum, now encased in ancient mud, hundreds, perhaps thousands of feet beneath the ocean floor, rendered utterly invisible and almost unreachable, becoming one with the very seabed itself. Even with our most advanced deep-sea technology, remotely operated vehicles, advanced sonar, submersibles capable of withstanding immense pressure, exploring the vastness of the ocean floor remains an undertaking of staggering difficulty, enormous risk, and prohibitive expense. We have mapped less of our own ocean floor, with the same level of detail, than we have the surface of the Moon or Mars. The sheer scale of the task is daunting to the point of seeming impossible. To find a single city, an entire continent, hidden beneath millions of square miles of uncharted seabed, is like searching for a single grain of sand on an entire planet, without even knowing for certain if that grain exists or what it looks like. The ocean is not merely a body of water. It is a vast, ancient archive, its abyssal plains and trenches holding secrets that may never see the light of day. A silent testament to a world that was. It is the ultimate natural cover-up. A perfect crime scene where all evidence has been meticulously concealed by the most powerful, indifferent forces on Earth. The psychological impact of this concealment is profound. The knowledge that such a magnificent, advanced civilization could exist, then vanish so completely, hidden away in a realm we can barely penetrate, creates a deep sense of unease. It breeds a primal fear. What other secrets does the ocean hold? What other forgotten histories? What other terrifying truths lie locked away in its crushing embrace, waiting to be revealed, or perhaps, more chillingly, never to be found? The ocean becomes not just a grave, but a warning. It reminds us that our place on this planet is precarious, that even our greatest achievements can be erased, and that the forces of nature, patient and relentless, are the true custodians of Earth's most terrifying history. This hidden world, swallowed by the deep, serves as a constant, silent threat, a reminder that the seemingly stable ground beneath our feet is ultimately fragile, and the vast, dark waters that surround us hold the power to reclaim anything, At any moment, the whispers of Atlantis continue, not just as a legend, but as a chilling reminder that the deep holds its secrets fiercely, and that what lurks beneath the waves might be waiting, eternally, to be rediscovered. A silent, enduring terror that forever hints at another cataclysm yet to come. A mirror of our own potential doom. The ocean depths conceal a silent, enduring terror. What ancient darkness consumed Atlantis? And could such a cataclysmic force awaken again? The whispers persist. A warning from the deep. Thank you for daring to delve into the unknown with Grey Veil Echoes. If these whispers from the past captivated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Until next time, keep exploring the shadows.